Hello, everyone. How are you tonight? Welcome to Bedtime Stories. My name is Miss Debbie, and I do this each week so you can have your own private story time with me and really get a good look at some of the books that I'm reading and enjoy. And you can play the video over and over as you like. Welcome. Hello, everybody. How are you? How are you? How are you? Hello, everybody. How are you? How are you today? I hope you had a wonderful day. These fall days are lovely, although the leaves are going away. They're falling off the trees. They're still colorful, but the days are getting colder. Certainly, the nights are coming earlier and earlier, and winter's on the way. So let's enjoy the nice autumn weather while we can. Okay, so if you were out and about today, maybe you were dropped off at your friend's house to play, or school, or with the nanny or the babysitter, and that now you're home and tucked in and ready for your bedtime routine. Sometimes my mommy takes me over to my friend's house to play. Sometimes she's gone a little while, and sometimes she's gone all day. But my mommy comes back, my mommy comes back, my mommy comes back to get me. My mommy comes back, she always comes back, she never would forget me. So love your mommy, and I love my mommy, and all of us have a mommy. So let's get ready for bed now so we can get to these stories. This is the way we wash our face, wash our face, wash our face. This is the way we wash our face before we go to bed. This is the way we brush our teeth, brush our teeth, brush our teeth. This is the way we brush our teeth before we go to bed. This is the way we comb our hair, comb our hair, comb our hair. This is the way we comb our hair before we go to bed. This is the way we blow a kiss, blow a kiss, blow a kiss. This is the way we blow a kiss before we go to bed. Good job. Uh, so our first story tonight is, again, apropos of the season. If winter comes, tell it I'm not here, by Simona Suriolo. Winter is on the way, and there's nothing we can do about it. I used to not like winter, but what can you do? It's here, so you might as well have some fun. If winter comes, tell it I am not here. Swimming is my favorite thing. I am very good at it. I really could have been a fish. So here's the little boy in the swimming pool with his swimmies on, and he's floating on his back. So we're looking into the swimming pool as if we were a bird hovering above it. Do you like to swim? I like to swim. Not many things can drag me out of the swimming pool, but what can? Right, a double-decker ice cream. You'd better make the most of it while it lasts, said my sister. Summer's going to end soon. What happens when the summer ends? I ask. Well, first comes the fall. The days get shorter, there's a chill in the air, and the trees lose all their leaves. You won't need your swimsuit anymore, so you can kiss that goodbye. So here he is thinking. The days get shorter, the leaves go away, and air is chilly, but he's still in his bathing suit with his towel wrapped around him. That's what he's imagining. Then winter comes, said his sister. It will be dark all the time. The cold rain will soon turn to snow, and you'll be stuck on the sofa for days. So there he is on the sofa, still wrapped in his beach towel. Thunder and lightning, and suddenly snow and freezing cold. Everything will be so dull and you'll be so cold. You wouldn't even dream of eating ice cream. I don't want to believe her, but Mom and Dad say it's true. There's nothing I can do except wait. And here's Mommy comforting me, and I'm pointing at my sister saying, "You're telling me a fib." And Daddy's just getting mad at everybody. Humph, I'll just play with my boat. So I look out for the signs of winter, and one by one they come, just as my sister said they would. And he's looking out the window and he's seeing the green leaves are beginning to turn red and gold. There's a chill in the air, and the trees begin to lose their leaves. I can wrap myself in Daddy's long scarf when we go for a walk. So the trees are different colors, but look, some of the trees have lost their leaves. We're seeing a lot of that right now. Days get shorter and nights come early. We are all stuck on the sofa, but we're watching TV. It rains a lot. You couldn't stay dry even if you tried. Dreary, rainy day. What's to do? Stay inside, read a book. If you go outside, you do need umbrellas, but you can go outside. And here the family went in the rain to the restaurant. I haven't wanted to eat any ice cream, not once. Hot cocoa is good for me now. In the end, winter is nothing like I imagined. Look, he's learning to skate. I think I like it. I can still have lots of fun. I'm learning to skate, and my sister fell down. Haha. My big sister. Do you have a big sister? I don't. I am the big sister. And even when all the color has been taken out of the world, I would never call it dull. White and the green and brown of trees is just beautiful. So I figure I'll make the most of it. And here we are making snow angels in the snow. We've made a snowman. We've gone sledding. I'll make the most of it just in case winter doesn't last very long. Uh-oh, what's poking up through the snow? Signs of spring, a flower growing. The end. This is a very nice book. I'm going to see if there's more books by this author, Simona Sciuriolo. Come in the library and check it out. I'll save you a copy. That was a good book. Yeah, it is. It is getting dark out now. Day is done. Day is done. Gone the sun. From the land, from the hills, from the sky. All is well. Safely rest. Sleep is nigh. Sleep is near. And who comes out when day is done? That's right, twinkle, brightest star in the sky. Starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight. I wish I may, I wish I might have the wish I wish tonight. So let's make a wish. We could always wish to go to a sunny vacation in the winter, right? Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Good night, Twinkle. Twinkle's going to watch over us while we sleep, and then we wake up, and then that's when Twinkle goes to sleep. He goes to sleep when the sun comes up. Oh, all feel good songs to get us ready for bed, right? Skidamarinka dinka dink, skidamarinka doo. I love you. Skidamarinka dinka dink, skidamarinka doo. I love you. I love you in the morning and in the afternoon. I love you in the evening and underneath the moon. Oh, skidamarinka dinka dink, skidamarinka doo. I love you. Cha cha cha. That's funny. I have a Thanksgiving book for us today. This is one of my favorites by Eve Bunting, A Turkey for Thanksgiving. Do you eat turkey on Thanksgiving? Do you even like turkey? It's kind of boring, blah food, but it's traditional. Maybe you just eat sweet potato pie or something else, pumpkin pie, carrots, or string bean casserole. I don't know. Um, a book like this is hard to find because it's out of print. And this is why I urge you, when you borrowing a library book or even books of your own, take special care of it. Don't drop it, don't tear it, don't use it as a rain bonnet, because once books are broken, you have to throw them out and you can't buy them anymore. So this is what happened to this, my favorite book, A Turkey for Thanksgiving. You can't buy it anymore. I had to borrow this from another library. So depressing. So you'll see how good a story it is once I start. Eve Bunting, A Turkey for Thanksgiving. Illustrated by Diane DeGrout. Now look what you see in these pictures. You can see acorns and oak leaves and some kind of berries. I don't exactly know what kind of berries they are. Again, don't ever eat wild berries that you find because you don't know. They're good for animals, but not for people. Okay. Maybe if you're a school age person, in school you'll have decorations like pilgrims or these turkeys in your classroom. It was Thanksgiving morning. Mr. Moose helped Mrs. Moose set the Thanksgiving table. Sheep will sit here. He likes a chair that's straight up and down, Mr. Moose said. Rabbit here, porcupine here, and Mr. and Mrs. Goat over there. He smiled at his wife. Isn't it nice to have friends to share Thanksgiving? They live in a nice, cozy cottage. Mrs. Moose set two paper pilgrims, one at each end of the table. She placed the paper turkey with its great fan of a tail between the candles and stood back. They look good, my dear, Mr. Moose said. Mrs. Moose sighed. Yes, but I wish we had a real turkey. Everyone always has a turkey for Thanksgiving, everyone but us. Mr. Moose nuzzled Mrs. Moose's head. Well, that won't do. I will go this minute and find you a turkey for Thanksgiving. Mr. Moose put on his cap and went out. Mist wandered through the bare trees. The cold made his nose water. Rabbit poked his head from his rabbit hole. Mr. Moose, is it dinner time? Not quite yet. Mrs. Moose wants a turkey. I'm off to find one. Rabbit joined him in 3 quick hops. I'll come too. Isn't this a beautiful scene? A winter scene where the leaves are on the ground, the trees are dark and bare, maybe a little snow has dusted the evergreens, and people are bundled up in their colorful winter clothing. Moose's warm breath hung white in front of him. Snow crunched under his boots, under his hooves, and made little holes that Rabbit jumped over. I see the goats, Rabbit said. Mr. Goat raised his head and spat out the tin can he was chewing. Is it dinner time? He called. Not till I find a turkey, Mr. Moose said. We saw one down by the river, Mrs. Goat told him, and Mr. Goat added, a fat one. Look how the goats are living. Kind of fun. They're sitting on their porch. The goats leaped down from their perch. We'll show you. Sheep was a farther up the hillside, looking round as a fur ball in his winter coat. Is it dinner time? He bellowed. First I have to find a turkey, Mr. Moose bellowed back. There's a turkey nest on the riverbank, Sheep called. Wait for me. The earth smelled of ice and moss as they crunched along. Above them, a crow hung, black as a puff of wood smoke. Porcupine was hiding in the underbrush. It's you, he said, and put his quills down. We're off to get a turkey for Mrs. Moose, Mr. Moose explained. Do you want to come? I'm slow, Porcupine said. Pick me up on your way back. Who'd want to pick you up? Sheep asked, and laughed his bleat of a laugh. I'll wait, Porcupine said to Mr. Moose. They saw Turkey's nest right away, and Turkey himself peering over the top of it. And Turkey put the signs out that said, do not disturb. Come back after Thanksgiving. No turkey here. He's hiding in his own leaves. Turkey, turkey, Mr. Moose called in his sweetest voice. Arg! Turkey blundered from his nest and ran. Mr. Moose lumbered after him. Turkey, don't run. We just want you for Thanksgiving dinner. Turkey ran faster. Mr. Moose saw the red and blue sheen of Turkey's neck. Turkey's tail brushed crumbs of snow behind him as he tried to fly. Too fat, Mr. Goat said. Who is carrying the fork? How rude. Who's in that coat? It's the goat. How rude. Turkey's legs bent in the middle as he fell. Mr. Moose put a booted hoof on his head. That's even ruder. And smiled his great toothy smile. I hope you didn't have other plans for Thanksgiving, Turkey. He helped Turkey up. My wife won't mind that you're too fat, he said. Let's go. It's getting close to dinner time. They marched Turkey in front. I'm sorry about this, for I can see you don't want to come, Mr. Moose said, but I must insist. A promise is a promise. There was a wealth of dried fruit on the moose's door. Inside, let's see, where's that door? Here's the door. Inside, the house was filled with Thanksgiving smells. Mr. Moose hid Turkey behind him. Look who I brought, Mrs. Moose, he said. Sheep, the goats, rabbit, and porcupine. And ta-da! He pushed Turkey around in front of him. For you, a turkey for Thanksgiving. Mrs. Moose clapped her hooves. I'm so happy to have you, Turkey. Thank you, Mr. Moose. Now everything's perfect. Shall we sit? Sheep asked, heading for the straight up and down chair. Let's, Mrs. Moose pointed. Rabbit here, Porcupine there, Mr. and Mrs. Goat here, and look, I brought a chair from the other room in hopes of Turkey. A chair? Turkey stammered. Right next to me, Mrs. Moose said. Light the candles, please, Mr. Moose. There were bowls of acorns and alfalfa sprouts, dried since summer. There was willow bark and cured grasses and wild parsley. There were pressed leaves, thin and pale as new ice on a pond. I hope you find something here to your liking, Mr. Turkey, Mrs. Moose said. I wasn't sure of your taste. You are so kind to worry about my taste, Turkey said. I thought you'd be worrying about how I taste. Heavens, no, Mr. Moose smiled his big tooth smile and filled everyone's cup with cold spring water. It's so nice to have friends around the table at Thanksgiving. Turkey's waddles wobbled. It's even nicer to be at your table and not on it, he said. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. And look at the feast they're having. It looks good to me. Happy Thanksgiving, Turkey. The end. Isn't that fun? Oh, let's see. What's our feel-good song that we like to sing? It is, I know, are you happy? Did you have a happy day? Good. If you're happy and you know it, blow a kiss. If you're happy and you know it, blow a kiss. If you're happy and you know it, your heart will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, blow a kiss. If you're happy and you know it, give a hug. You can hug yourself or hug somebody else. If you're happy and you know it, give a hug. If you're happy and you know it, your heart will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, give a hug. If you're happy and you know it, wink your eye. Wink, wink. If you're happy and you know it, wink your eye. Wink, wink. If you're happy and you know it, your heart will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, wink your eye. Wink, wink. If you're happy and you know it, call sweet dreams. Sweet dreams. If you're happy and you know it, call sweet dreams. Sweet dreams. If you're happy and you know it, your heart will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, call sweet dreams. Sweet dreams. So it is time for Lily White's party, right? Ready to jump into bed and snuggle down into those cold, crisp, clean Lily White sheets. Oh, but you're asking me for one more story? Well, I think we have time. Yeah, why not? This is all about you getting to see the stories close up. So we were talking about squirrels last week, and this is one of my favorite squirrel books. So it's called Girl versus Squirrel, written by Haley Barrett and illustrated by Renee Andriani. So, do you have squirrels in your yard? I do have an oak tree with lots of acorns, but guess what? The squirrels would rather go after the bird food. Oy, 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 oy. I don't know what to do. Let's see what this girl Pearl did. Pearl built 3 bird feeders. One looked like a house, one looked like a tube, and one looked like a teacup, perched on top of a tall pole. It looked like a teacup because it was a teacup, and Pearl was particularly proud of it. So she's building this in the spring. So there's all her workman tools on the table, her binoculars. Birds are watching. Oh, the birds will come out when they know you've got bird seed out. Somebody else comes out too. Pearl filled the house bird feeder with suet. She filled the tube bird feeder with seeds. She filled the teacup with peanuts. Lots of birds love peanuts. Pearl took the lens cap off her binoculars and waited. Cardinals and flickers swooped in for suet. Finches and chickadees sailed in for seeds, but not a single bird could settle on the teacup because something else wanted those peanuts. Hey, protested Pearl. Bird feeders are for birds. But the squirrel didn't flinch. Instead, it flicked its tail and gobbled Pearl's peanuts, each and every one, before dashing to a hole in the old oak tree. Drat that squirrel, grumbled Pearl. It may be brave, but it's no match for me. Girl versus squirrel is on. And who's looking out of the hole in the tree? Is that where Squirrel ran? With her hockey stick and some duct tape, Pearl extended the teacup's pole. There, she said, that's tall enough to stop any squirrel in its tracks. She watched breathless with anticipated success, but was soon disappointed. Drat, drat, that speedy squirrel, she groused. I'll make the pole taller. So the squirrel climbed up it anyway, as they will do. Now the teacup towered. It's on a mop and the hockey stick and the regular contraption. But it didn't deter the squirrel. The squirrel scurried up the mop, scrabbled up the hockey stick, and shinnied straight up the pole. Oh no, Pearl groaned. Brave, speedy, and determined too. The squirrel stared at Pearl and seized an especially plump peanut. But before it could take a nibble, the pole began to teeter and totter and wobble until, thud, it toppled to the ground. The teacup popped off the pole. The handle snapped off the teacup, and the startled squirrel skedaddled to the tip-top twig of the old oak tree. Drat, 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 you squirrel, growled Pearl. You're a bird feeder crashing, teacup smashing, peanut poaching pest. There it all came crashing down. Pearl poked through the grass and peanuts to find the teacup's handle and muttered, but you will never, ever be a match for me. While Pearl glued her teacup, she pondered and plotted. Step by step, she pulled together a plan to put that squirrel to the test. She rummaged through her box of useful odds and ends. And then she clambered and climbed, lifted and leveled, shifted and stretched, twisted and tied. As a network of obstacles emerged, each more squirrel challenging than the last, Pearl began to enjoy herself. Phew, she panted. This is as much fun as building bird feeders. When everything was ready, Pearl tumbled more peanuts into the teacup. Bold, speedy, and determined won't be enough, she, she said. This time, teacup triumph will require nerves of squirrely steel. If you go on YouTube, you can find what people did to deter squirrels and how squirrels keep on coming after that bird seed. One video showed like a clothesline, and the squirrel was actually hanging on upside down by its feet and crawling across to get to the bird feeder. It's too funny. Training her binoculars on the old oak tree, Pearl scanned up branch by branch until there. I've done my best to best you, Squirrel, shouted Pearl. Now let's see what you can do. Ready, set. But before she could shout go, that squirrel was gone, head first, scuttling down the tree. There she is with her binoculars. Scuttling down the tree, and watch this. It leaps, where are we? Leaps off the tree. It scampers across the rope, spins on the dial, jumps up to the swing, whirls on the whirligig. Where's that? Here it is. Scrambles through the net, jumps to the punching bag and clutches it, and then it clambers all along the vacuum hose, which is holding up the teacup with the peanuts. Crunch. Pearl was dazzled. Then she was puzzled. She looked up into the tree. 1, 2, 3 babies, murmured Pearl. According to squirrel experts, the adult female tends to the babies. So that must mean the quick and nimble ninja squirrel was a mother. Pearl's can-do, will-do, just-did squirrel was quite a girl. I proclaim your victory, cheered Pearl, and I salute you, fearless, fluffy sister. She'll teach them everything she knows, Pearl said, how to climb and balance, how to think and plan. She'll develop their attention span, and then, right then, Pearl knew she wanted to help the squirrel family, and she knew how to do it. Pearl built bird feeders. She filled the house feeders with suet. She filled the tube feeders with seeds. She filled the teacups with peanuts, lots and lots of peanuts. The end. I am inspired by this book to get a bag of peanuts. They're pretty cheap, and put them out for the squirrels, and maybe they'll stay away from my bird feeder. I don't know. I have a yard full of acorns. A lot of acorns, hundreds, thousands of acorns. And the squirrels aren't really bothering the acorns. They're coming after the bird seed. So, if you can't beat them, join them. So I'll get some peanuts, and the squirrels can have the peanuts, and the birds can have the seed. And I can have my cup of coffee and my binoculars and sit outside and watch them. So, it's been lovely. Lovely, lovely spending this evening with you. I wish you a good night's sleep and sweet dreams, a restful night, Get rested up for the day. Tomorrow, I'm sure will bring wonderful things to do. You can always come to the library, uh, and if we're open, and we're most open all the time, and get books and do coloring pictures. And Tuesdays we open the Coddington room for playtime with the dollhouse and the train table. So do come to the library, and it's just a wonderful place to be. All right, but right now, go hippity hop to bed. I'd rather stay up instead. When mother says must, there's nothing but just go hippity hop to bed. Boo! Dive right into bed. And remember this: you are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Good night, sleep tight, and I will see you next time. Thank you for coming by.